The Democratic Republic of Congo is no stranger to conflict. This vast and resource-rich nation has been embroiled in a series of wars and skirmishes that have left deep scars on its landscape and its people. For decades, the eastern region has been plagued by violence and instability. The local population has endured unimaginable hardships, with countless families displaced and communities torn apart. In recent years, the M23 rebel group has emerged as a major player in this conflict. Known for their military prowess and strategic acumen, they have become a formidable force in the region. In April 2025, the DRC and M23 agreed to a ceasefire. This historic agreement was seen as a potential turning point in a conflict that has claimed countless lives and caused widespread devastation. This fragile truce, brokered by Qatar, offered a glimmer of hope in a region ravaged by war. The peace talks in Doha were a beacon of optimism for many who had lost hope in the possibility of peace. The ceasefire followed months of intense fighting between the DRC army and M23 rebels. The battles were fierce, with both sides suffering heavy casualties and significant losses. The rebels had made significant territorial gains, capturing key cities like Goma and Bukavu. These victories not only boosted their morale, but also gave them strategic advantages. These strategic victories allowed M23 to control vital trade routes and exert influence over the region. Their control over these areas disrupted local economies and further destabilized the region. The ceasefire aimed to halt the violence and pave the way for dialogue. It was a crucial step towards addressing the underlying issues that fueled the conflict. However, previous ceasefire agreements have quickly crumbled. The history of broken promises and renewed hostilities looms large over the current truce. The situation remains precarious, with both sides deeply distrustful of each other. The lack of trust is a significant barrier to lasting peace. The international community welcomed the ceasefire but remained cautious, emphasizing the need for a lasting political solution. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing to ensure that this ceasefire does not meet the same fate as previous ones. The ceasefire agreement is a fragile step towards peace. It represents a tentative hope for a better future. But the road ahead is fraught with challenges. However, deep-rooted grievances, ongoing mistrust, and the presence of armed groups pose significant challenges to a lasting resolution. The path to peace is long and complex. The international community faces the daunting task of facilitating dialogue, addressing the root causes of the conflict, and ensuring the protection of civilians caught in the crossfire. The hope is that with sustained effort and commitment, a lasting peace can finally be achieved in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The fragile peace in the DRC was further strained by the return of former President Joseph Kabila. After 2 years in self-imposed exile in South Africa, Kabila's return ignited political tensions. The DRC government accused Kabila of treason, alleging his involvement in supporting the M23 rebellion. Kabila, who ruled the DRC for 18 years, remains a powerful figure. His return sparked accusations of him attempting to destabilize the country and regain power. The government's decision to suspend Kabila's political party, the PPRD, and freeze his assets escalated the situation. Kabila has denied the accusations, but his return has undoubtedly complicated the conflict. His presence has reignited old rivalries and fueled suspicions. The accusations against Kabila, if proven true, would have serious implications for the DRC's political landscape. The M23 rebellion has also brought Rwanda under international scrutiny. The conflict has drawn the attention of the global community, with many questioning the role of neighboring countries in the ongoing violence. The DRC and several Western governments accuse Rwanda of backing the M23 rebels. These accusations are based on various intelligence reports and eyewitness accounts from the conflict zones. Evidence suggests that Rwandan troops have been operating within the DRC, providing support to the M23. Satellite images and intercepted communications have been cited as proof of Rwanda's involvement. Rwanda has vehemently denied these allegations. The Rwandan government insists that it has no involvement with the M23, and that any claims to the contrary are unfounded. The Rwandan government maintains that its presence in the DRC is solely to combat the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, a Hutu militia group operating in the region. They argue that their military actions are aimed at ensuring regional stability and security. Rwanda considers the FDLR a threat to its national security due to its links to the 1994 Rwandan genocide. The FDLR is composed of remnants of the forces responsible for the genocide, and Rwanda fears their resurgence. Despite Rwanda's denials, international pressure continues to mount. Human rights organizations and foreign governments are calling for transparency and accountability. The United States in particular has been vocal in its condemnation of Rwanda's alleged involvement. American officials have expressed their concerns over the destabilizing effects of the conflict on the region. U.S. Special Envoy Masad Boulos has called for the immediate withdrawal of Rwandan troops from the DRC and an end to its support for M23. He emphasized the need for a peaceful resolution and urged all parties to engage in dialogue. The complex situation in the DRC has prompted a flurry of diplomatic efforts. The Democratic Republic of Congo has been embroiled in conflict for decades, with various factions vying for control and resources. This has led to a humanitarian crisis that has drawn the attention of the international community. Regional and international actors are actively engaged in trying to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. These efforts include high-level meetings, negotiations, and peace talks aimed at bringing all parties to the table. Qatar has played a key role, mediating the ceasefire agreement between the DRC government and M23. This agreement is seen as a significant step forward, although its implementation remains a challenge. The African Union has also appointed Togolese President Faure Gnassingbe as a mediator. His involvement underscores the importance of regional leadership in resolving the conflict. The AU seeks a peaceful solution that addresses the concerns of all parties involved. This includes not only the warring factions but also the local communities affected by the violence. The United Nations, through its peacekeeping mission MONUSCO, continues to play a crucial role in providing security and humanitarian assistance in the region. MONUSCO's presence is vital for stabilizing areas affected by conflict and ensuring that aid reaches those in need. These mediation efforts face significant challenges. The road to peace is fraught with obstacles, including logistical issues, political disagreements, and the sheer complexity of the conflict. Deep-seated mistrust between the warring parties, the involvement of external actors, and the proliferation of armed groups in the region complicate the path to peace. Each of these factors adds layers of difficulty to the negotiation process. However, the ongoing diplomatic engagement offers a glimmer of hope that a negotiated settlement can be reached. The commitment of the international community and regional actors to finding a solution is a positive sign that peace, though elusive, is still within reach. The cost of conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo is profound and far-reaching. Families are torn apart, and entire communities are displaced. The human toll is immeasurable, with countless lives lost and many more forever changed. Economically, the region suffers as infrastructure is destroyed and resources are diverted towards war efforts instead of development. The social fabric of the nation is strained as trust erodes and fear becomes a daily reality. In the end, the price paid is not just in numbers but in the very essence of what it means to be a community. Over the past several decades, the Democratic Republic of Congo has faced relentless instability. The roots of this turmoil are deeply embedded in a complex history of colonial exploitation, ethnic tensions, and political power struggles. From the post-independence era to the present day, the country has endured numerous conflicts, each leaving a profound impact on its people and infrastructure. The timeline of rebellions in the Democratic Republic of Congo is marked by a series of uprisings and insurgencies. In the late 1990s, the First Congo War erupted, followed by the Second Congo War, often referred to as the African World War. These conflicts saw the involvement of multiple neighboring countries and various rebel groups. In 2012, the M23 rebellion emerged, adding another chapter to this turbulent history. Each of these events has contributed to the ongoing cycle of violence and instability. The instability in the Democratic Republic of Congo has not only been a national issue, but also a regional and global concern. Neighboring countries have often been drawn into the conflict, either as participants or as hosts, to refugees fleeing the violence. The international community has also taken notice, with various organizations and governments attempting to mediate peace and provide humanitarian aid. However, the complexity of the situation has made it difficult to achieve lasting solutions. Despite the many challenges, there are glimmers of hope for the Democratic Republic of Congo. Efforts to bring about peace and stability continue. with various initiatives aimed at addressing the root causes of the conflict. The resilience of the Congolese people, their rich culture, and the country's vast natural resources offer potential pathways to a brighter future. However, significant obstacles remain, including political corruption, economic disparity, and the need for comprehensive security reforms. The journey towards lasting peace is fraught with difficulties, but the hope for a better tomorrow endures.